It's beer o'clock on Real Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Ridgeway Brewing Company, and it's a bottle of their foreign export stout coming in at 8% ABV. They've called themselves Ridgeway of Oxfordshire. Ridgeway Brewing Company. Gold bottle cap. Really looking forward to this. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. At this stage of the beer review, nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, I'd like to thank our channel sponsors, beersofeurope.co.uk. Beersofeurope.co.uk, the largest online beer store in the UK, with a fabulous range of beers from literally all over the world. They've just done a brand new web design, they've just updated their website, they're calling their new kind of slogan, I would say, is not just Europe, all over the world. Something like that, but it's really cool. The link is in the description box of the video, beersofeurope.co.uk. Check them out. On with the beer review. We got a 3-finger tan coloured head. It is more or less, can you see that little bit of light there bleeding through the bottom of the glass? That probably gives a better representation of what the colour of the beer looks like. It is darker than that, but as you can see, it isn't jet black. There is a little bit of light bleeding through. Good carbonation. Let's get the aroma. Oh yeah. Do you know, this day and age, it's all about putting beer in a can. I just reviewed a beer. Let me show you. This is from Australia. That's called Mornington Squid Supremacy. That's kind of very much vogue at the moment. That's very much where beer marketing is heading. Cans, wraps, Australian craft beer. Lots of emphasis on the marketing. But, and I will get to the beer review very quickly, but I want to make this very quick point. There's something about this traditional method of marketing that really works. That really works. For me, growing up in the UK, you become comfortable with a certain style of marketing. This is the kind of marketing that I kind of grew up with, in terms of I spent a lot of time in pubs with my family growing up, not drinking as a youngster, but we would always be in the pub. But a family, it was always a family occasion. It wasn't like my father would leave us in the house and go to the pub on his own. It was always like a sports club or a social club or something like that he would take us to, where he could have a beer and we would play pool or something, you know. So we were still all together as a family. So spent a lot of time in a pub as a youngster, and I always this kind of branding, this kind of marketing is very familiar to me, and I still think it works. Even though I think that the new style of branding is just as good. It is a bottle conditioned beer. You can see some of that yeast floating to the bottom of the glass, but we're in 2018, almost 2019. That shouldn't come as any surprise anymore to you guys. Let's get the aroma. Chocolate, coffee, caramel. Oh, it smells terrific, it really does. A little bit of tobacco smoke. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, that is really good. Fair play. Stone the Crows. What a really good beer. It's tasting like an Imperial Mild. It's got a ring about it, like an Imperial Mild. It's got the mouthfeel of a foreign export stout. It's got the drinkability of a foreign export stout. But I'm just kind of like almost... I think it's the mouthfeel. It's a drinkable mouthfeel. It's a drinkable stout, yet there is quite a lot of mouthfeel, and I think that's why they've called it a foreign export stout and not a Russian Imperial Stout or a Russian Imperial Porter. I think the thinking behind this particular beer is that it's still a very drinkable beer. So it's not massively thick, not massively gloopy. It's not like engine oil, but at the very same time, it still has a very nice mouthfeel. Lovely levels of carbonation, pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. It's got a nice kind of, it has a nice feel to it. It does have a nice mouthfeel, but it's still very drinkable. Bitter chocolate, bitter dark chocolate, sweet caramel, some nice espresso coffee bean flavours coming through. It's nice and bitter on the back end. All of this, of course, is coming from the roasted malt. It's not as if they've added a load of espresso coffee, a lot of dark chocolate. All of these flavours are coming from the roasted malt and the malted barley that's been chosen and selected and put into this beer. Ridgeway, foreign extra stout bottle, matures in a similar way to vintage port. Roasted malts and leaf hops initially provide an aroma of breakfast coffee and fresh spices that gradually fades to reveal licorice, caramel and raisin notes. Yeah. Plum, fig and prune. That's my own personal palate, but at the same time, yes, you could say that spiciness, you could turn that into a licorice, and the prunes and the figs, you could turn it into raisin. It's very, very similar flavours. Raisin, and then that's our products of the aging process. Beneath all this change sits a solid and resilient backbone of bitter English hop. 8% ABV, 500ml bottle. Let's give it a rating. I think it's a terrific example of British brewing, traditional British brewing. It's not gone out and become a Russian Imperial Stout, thick and fat and bold. It's not an Imperial Porter. It's the style of beer hitting on the head. It's bang on for the style. Foreign export stout, a terrific beer from Ridgeway Brewing Company. I'm really pleased I come across this. I'm doing a live feed in the background on Facebook, and it's on our Facebook page, Real Ale Craft Beer, if you want to follow us and follow the live feed. But I remember reviewing a beer years ago called Ridgeway Brewing's, I think it was called their Bad King John or something like that. Somebody mentioned it. Let's have a look. Yeah, Bad King John, and I remember really liking that beer. And I was on the website, Beers of Europe, and I was scrolling through, as I do every month, and I come across this beer and I thought, I'm sure I've had a beer from Ridgeway, I'm sure of it. I didn't bother going through YouTube and going through my backlog of 5,000 beers now. I just thought, I know I haven't reviewed this one, but I know Ridgeway are a good brewery. So the live feed has revealed that I have reviewed Bad King John and that I really enjoyed it. I remember Ridgeway being a good brewer. So I've chosen it, I've enjoyed it. I'm going to give this foreign export stout from Ridgeway Brewing Company 8% ABV, a stonking Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.